Welcome back to InFocus California, SoCal. I'm Renee Ng. Now, sitting with me for this segment on the homelessness issue is Xavier Corral of Corral Consulting. He's the president of the San Gabriel Valley Consortium on Homelessness. Did I get that right?
Correct.
Okay, that's a mouthful. All right, well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Now, tell me, what does your consortium do?
So our consortium is unlike a traditional service provision organization. In fact, unlike the previous guest, we do not provide direct services. We actually step into a place that is really needed when it comes to addressing the issue of homelessness, which is education, facilitation, and advocacy, particularly in a place like the San Gabriel Valley that has the highest number of municipalities of any area throughout LA County. It actually has 31 distinct municipalities and cities, and including the County of Los Angeles. So in order for an issue like homelessness to be properly addressed in the San Gabriel Valley, it requires an agency that can step up, that knows all the players, that it can engage the multiple different stakeholders that need to be at the table in order to effectively address homelessness. And so therefore, we really focus on the education, facilitating relationships and partnerships, and advocacy piece throughout the San Gabriel Valley.
Got it. So you're essentially getting all the different cities to talk to one another to tackle the homeless issues.
And in addition to cities, also the service providers, also the advocates, also school districts as well, law enforcement. There's so many stakeholders that are impacted by the issue of homelessness that they all need to be at the table. They all need to be able to have a voice. And frankly, they all are very important in terms of not only addressing and finding a solution, but implementing solutions as well.
Got it. Now, in our earlier segment, we talked about what homelessness kind of looks like in West LA. So it's there, it's in the street, but in San Gabriel Valley, it's much more suburban. What does homelessness look like there?
That's correct. And here in LA County, obviously, we have many diverse regions, right? And so in line with our diversity, similarly, homelessness is going to look different in every different place. And so in a suburban area like the San Gabriel Valley, we have homeless people that are sometimes living in cars. We have homeless people that are living in hotels. We have homeless people that are couch surfing, and people that are even living in garages. All of those ways of living or being housed, so to speak, are in fact considered homeless. And it's really important to acknowledge that and not assume that homelessness just has one face or only looks like individuals living in the street. In fact, in the San Gabriel Valley, we have very large open spaces. We have rivers that run through the San Gabriel Valley. We have large parks, and those areas have actually been taken over and repurposed, so to speak, into homeless encampments that are far away and off the streets, and oftentimes people don't see it.
Gotcha. And how do you reach out to the ones that are couch surfing or living in hotels? How do you reach those guys?
That's a great question. Oftentimes we have to engage our what we call non-traditional partners. So the stakeholders that first become aware oftentimes of sort of these individuals that are couch surfing or living in hotels is actually the school district, is actually children, because teachers and principals notice irregularities that are happening with students and families as they come to school or not coming to school or potentially not being prepared, and they begin to ask questions and ultimately find out the status of the family and the child, where they're living, where does mail get sent to, and that's how this issue sort of percolates and shows itself, which again is why we need partners like school districts to be at the table in order to properly address the issue.
Gotcha. And will you guys also work with the county in terms of getting funding? Let's talk about that. How does that work?
Correct. So Measure H, as you know, was a voter-approved initiative that recently happened, and the onus is on the county and the supervisors really to deliver on the promise of Measure H. It's a big promise to deliver on. I mean, it's a big problem. Obviously, that's why we're here, talking about it today. And in order to make good on the voters' initiative, they need partners. They need people who are able to understand each region of the county and its unique iteration and version of homelessness. And the county has stepped up, thankfully, and both Supervisors Barger and Supervisor Solis have really stepped in and helped to partner and to fund the work that we do, because they fundamentally realize that it's going to take more than services. It's going to take a level of coordination, education, and partnership building in order to not only address the issue in the present, but to create a sustainable solution into the future.
That's very informative. I had no idea that homelessness kind of looked like that in the San Gabriel Valley and what the issues are, so it's very helpful. Well, thank you so much for joining us and coming down to our studios here.
Absolutely.
All right, now up ahead, a special guest, Los Angeles City Council member Marquise Harris Dawson. He represents District 8, where homelessness is not an abstract issue, it's an everyday problem.